All right, so welcome to A Survivor's Life on Spotify and also on YouTube. I have been joined by none other occupational therapist Desiree. Thank you so much for joining me, Desiree. I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
When I seen your background, I was like, I definitely have to have her on the show because guess what? I suffer from lymphedema. So I'm love to just talk a little bit about, what is lymphedema?
Sure. Before I get into that, yes, like Kimberly said, I am an occupational therapist. I am also certified in lymphedema. I'm also a health and clarity coach. When it comes to lymphedema is swelling that can occur after an injury, depending on exactly what's going on. That swelling can occur along the arm, the hand, the chest. Let's say, for example, in regards of Kimberly's case of possibly getting those lymph nodes removed, into regards to that, the body tries to really work through that. So now the body's kind of overcompensated. So swelling could occur. Now with that swelling is more protein driven compared to water driven. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people think it's water driven. In the beginning, maybe the natural inflammation phase, that swelling is more water driven, but it can turn into proteins, and those proteins come from our lymphatic fluid.
So so just jumping right in about the lymphedema. Yes, I do suffer from lymphedema, and I had 16 lymph nodes removed from my arm, my left arm, so due to having breast cancer. But from my understanding, you can get lymphedema pretty much from lots of different things, injuries, like Desiree said. So it's good to just do your background, do your research, even though Desiree is a medical professional and she does this for a living. But if you see anything or we say anything that you don't like or you don't feel question it, please do your research on your own. But this is just a platform I use to provide information for people that need it. That's all. And so Desiree, so getting back into the lymphedema, I had 16 lymph nodes removed. Now, I know that you specialize in just the traumas of it. What types of traumas could cause lymphedema besides cancer?
Let's say a knee replacement. Let's say someone had a constant injury to the leg or the arm. The body is trying to just overcompensate for that injury. So swelling can definitely occur from that. So basically some type of injury to the lymphatic system that can trigger that swelling with the lymphedema.
Now, yes. Is there any types of foods that we should stay away from or that we should start implementing in our diets to maybe assist with, the swelling to, cause the swelling to come down?
We have to be aware of our sodium intake, our salt intake. So I tell people, I'm not saying get rid of all your salt, but just be aware of it. So more sodium, more salts, you're basically causing more swelling to occur. And then sugar, sweets. Now, I love my sweets myself. I get some swelling to my ankle, but, I have to also be aware of that too. So a lot of sugary substances can basically trigger more of that swelling. So it's just good to be aware of that. But water, right? So making sure you're being hydrated and flushing out your system at the same time is very important into regards of that.
Nice. Okay. So salt. So even like seasoning salt, that's still salt. So even though it says seasoning, it's still salt. So is there any specific foods that, that we should definitely not be intaking because it's just way too much? There's no more ramen noodles. Ramen noodles, for everyone out there, ramen noodles is not a meal. It should not be a meal. It's salty. It's a bag of salt, pretty much, and some starch. Salt and starch together. So we want to stay away from both of those things. So we want to prevent lymphedema, but also prevent, obesity at the same time. Right. So, we're going to stay away from the ramen noodles.
Right, exactly. And speaking on obesity, like being overweight, that could trigger, that lymphedema. So making sure that you're exercising. If you're sitting down for a long time as well, that swelling could occur along to the legs. So again, not just with cancer, but just in general. So it's just good for us to be aware of it. And into regards of that sodium, like you said, the noodles, be careful with that. And even getting soup, like out of the can, that's going to be a lot of sodium within that. So try to prepare stuff fresh into regards of it, so you can kind of control more of that sodium intake. Or, if you're going to Panera and you're getting some soup, just be aware of it. It's going to have a high content of sodium in there. So yes.
Oh, good to know. Yes, you're right about that soup. And I love me some broccoli cheddar from Panera. Now that you said that, it make me want some. But yeah, so Desiree, staying away from soup and of course our ramen noodles. Now, if say for instance, we're going out to eat. Like, I know restaurants do have healthy choices. Are there any specific things that we should kind of be steering away from? Me, myself, I normally steer away from on any menu, even on my own menu at home, anything with red sauce, because my indigestion is crazy. So is there anything that we can just kind of stay away from as far as, on a restaurant? Like, going out to eat is harder to get a menu and to get things that we really like. My go-to is salmon and rice pilaf or something like that, and whatever is green, because I like to have my things balanced. But, some people like McDonald's. So is there, some things that we should just be not eating besides McDonald's and ramen noodles?
Right. I was going to definitely say like the pasta and the noodles. But chips and dip, like I love me some good chips and dip. I can tear up some chips and dip, but be careful with that. Those chips can have a lot of, again, that salt intake as well. So it's just something to be careful of. I'm not saying just totally steer away from it to starve yourself from it, but just be mindful and have a good balanced meal. I really don't like using the word diet. I would say more of a lifestyle change, right? So making sure you're having that lifestyle change like you're doing, like you're making sure, hey, I'm at least get this here while I'm going out. I'm going to get some type of greens. I'm going to have a good balanced meal is usually what I tell people.
As going back to the lymphedema, now, say for instance, it's never happened to me personally, but if my arm did swell up.
Yes, I usually tell people, hey, ask your doctor, unless you're already seeing a lymphedema therapist, see if they can refer you to see a lymphedema therapist to give you some education. Usually with treatment, we will do manual lymph drainage. It's kind of like a light movement to help reroute that lymphatic fluid there. And then also making sure that compression, right? So we'll definitely talk about compression garments. Those compression garments will help create that tissue pressure to help push and move that fluid out of the area. And decongestive exercises like bending that elbow, walking, right? That will kind of help create that muscle pump mechanism to help push and move that fluid out of the area. And then we'll also talk about skincare, right? So skincare is very important into regards to that with that swelling to help to prevent wounds and infections. But yes, into regards to that swelling, it can definitely go down with the right type of treatment. It can fluctuate at the same time, but in general, that compressions do most of the heavy lifting, most of the work into regards to that.
Gotcha. So compression, I have my compression sleeve. I actually do have it on, and then I have a machine that they gave me. Yeah. It's like a full body, like a suit, but I don't need the suit on. I look like like the Marshmallow Man with the suit on. But just the arm part. I use the arm part, and it does. You can hear it. Like, it's very expensive, I can tell, but I got it covered under my insurance. Can you tell me what's the name of that machine again, Desiree?
Yes, it's the pneumatic compression pump. There are different type of vendors out there as well. But yeah, it's the pneumatic compression pump, and it mimics that manual lymph drainage. It has chambers inside of that to reroute that lymphatic fluid there. So yes, it basically kind of takes place of the manual lymph drainage. It's more of a self-management tool for those who need it at home, where the therapist will execute more of the manual lymph drainage to reroute the fluid.
Okay. Yeah, because that Marshmallow Man suit I wasn't going to wear, but I do use this machine sometimes.
Everyone is different in regards of how often, some people may do it 60 minutes, 2 times a day. It just depends on exactly what is going on. There's different pressure or levels into regards to that machine as well. So some people may be on a different level of the type of compression to help reroute that lymphatic fluid, or the pressure to help reroute the lymphatic fluid.
Okay. So what about the sleeve? So should I wear my sleeve the same? Is it the same time frame? Should I just be wearing that all day, or just go by whatever my lymphedema specialist said, therapist?
Definitely, depending on your lymphedema therapist. Usually for me, it's depending on exactly what's going on. So when it comes to prevention, I tell someone, hey, I want you to wear your compression sleeve when you're doing a whole lot of movement. If you're going to be exercising, again, doing that repetitive movement, flying, traveling as well. All right. So with traveling and flying, the more flying, the atmospheric pressure is different than the cabin pressure within the plane. So therefore it can kind of pull the tissues and swelling could occur. So our goal is to help to prevent that swelling. So even if someone does not have swelling, depending on how many lymph nodes are being removed, radiation, chemo, I will say, hey, I want you to wear this compression sleeve during this time to help to prevent that. Now, compared to someone who is already swollen, I may say, hey, I want you to wear this daily in regards to the compression sleeve. That compression sleeve is more of a daytime garment, meaning you usually don't go to sleep with that, but they do have nighttime garments as well to assist. So, compared to someone who's constantly swelling, like, hey, I need you to wear this daily, or if I'm trying to get someone on the schedule to get used to the compression sleeve, hey, let's try 4 hours a day to slowly work your way up to it. So it's one of those, it just depends on, exactly what is going on.
Gotcha. Okay. Yes, I always make sure that I have it in my bag when I go through the checkpoints at the airport. Very important. Those different altitudes can cause it to swell, because I haven't had the swelling, but I can tell that something was going on, because I can see the little dents where it was starting to swell. And I'm like, oh, I forgot to put my sleeve thingy on. And so a great thing is they have, you can make it stylish. And so they have different colors. And so I option to get pink, and I have brown and black. I have the different colors of the sleeves. Like I said, you can get it covered under most insurances, or you can purchase. I option to purchase a couple additional ones, because I always be losing them for my chemo brain. So
So into regards to that with the insurance, Medicare just started in January of this year, 2024. With covering compression garments. So It's been a long time coming. So yes, that's very exciting. Before, people had to pay out of pocket when it, came to Medicare with getting those compression garments covered.
Yes, I love that. OMG, Medicare is finally covering things that's brand new. Once we got everything back normal and it's managed and everything, you mentioned exercising. So we're definitely going to be wearing it while exercising. Now, are there any specific exercises that we shouldn't be doing, or?
Ooh, that's a good question. Again, it depends on the individual. So, I may have someone to do weights. Maybe they're active with doing weights in general, and say, hey, I want you to wear this compression sleeve during this time, compared to someone who's maybe not as active with the weights. So, I may have a more lower exercise program for them to help assist. That could just be, like I said, with walking. The goal is basically to really create that muscle pump mechanism. Bending those elbows, flashing those fingers. That's a decongestive exercise.
The muscle pump. Would we be able to do any type of muscle pump on our own outside of the machine and outside of the compression garment? Like, I know that when I was going to my physical therapist, we were kind of walking up the wall like something or other, because at one point when I first got there, I could not even lift my arm. But now I have full mobility. You see that? But I couldn't even lift my arm, and I was in pain and I was crying. So for my people that are brand new, I want to tell you that, yes, it's stressful for right now. When you first find out you have lymphedema, it could be overwhelming, stressful. You got to deal with this sleeve thingy is kind of embarrassing, whatever have you. At the end of the day, so what? I'm so happy that you guys are here and you continue to be here. Wear that sleeve, be different, stand out, get you a pink one, get a yellow one. Let people know who you are and what you do, and you're here and you're going to stay here. So don't be embarrassed about having to wear that sleeve, because I was at first in the beginning, but at the end of the day, I had to think about it like, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be present. I'm so happy to be in the moment. So let me get the pink and yellow sleeve over there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, and like you said, they have cute sleeves. Like, I know it may mess up some outfits, but they do have cute sleeves. You can still make it cute, okay? The sleeve is not going to break you, right? In other words, you can make it cute. You make it your own.
Right.
So, yes.
And do not feel embarrassed about anything. At the end of the day, God sees you, God sees your heart, and he saved you, and you are here for a reason of, that faith and just walking in your purpose and just finding your thing and what you're supposed to be doing is everything. So don't be embarrassed at all, because I was like, wait a minute, I'm so happy to be here. It's never going to happen again. I will never be embarrassed about being alive. So if I got to wear 2 or 3 sleeves, I'm going to wear 2 or 3 or 5. I don't even care how much they cost. I would pay anything just to be living. And so I'm just so happy to be here. And so with that being said, Miss Desiree, thank you so much for coming on to A Survivor's Life. We really truly appreciate all of your input, all of your knowledge, all of your wisdom. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it and so motivated by your story and then your just drive to continue to push through.
Oh, I appreciate you so much, Desiree. And yes, you continue to help your patients, as I know that you do. Miss Desiree is a light over here, guys. You guys can't see her, but she looks amazing. And you can tell that she loves what she does. And I'm just so ecstatic to have her on the show. And so, Miss Desiree, you enjoy the rest of your day. And like I said, thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate it. A Survivor's Life is sponsored by Au Revoir Clothing and Apparel. They have these beautiful breast cancer necklaces. You would love them. AuRevoirClothing.com to take a look and to purchase there. And they're very cute. Lots of great t-shirts and for our walks this summer. So go check them out. If you know someone that has been affected by lymphedema, please reach out to your medical oncologist. They will be able to assist you with getting in connection with an occupational therapist, such as Desiree, and be able to get you that treatment that you need. And please like, subscribe, share, because this gets that information out, the awareness out, and so people can, be more proactive in their breast cancer journey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace, love, and light.